What's going on, Bucs fans? You're watching Bucs Breakdown presented by PrizePicks. Make sure to use code HMA to get $50 in lineups after your first $5 lineup. Coming up on today's show, my name is Reed Barkis, wherever you're watching. Hope you're having a great day. Happy Friday to everyone out there. Let's go, USA. Bucs Breakdown today is the 53-man roster projection after mandatory minicamp. So, obviously, Wednesday's practice was canceled. So total of 2 practices. So mandatory minicamp is done until the next time we'll see the Bucs players is in training camp in late July. So the 30th, and it's open to the public. That's the first practice that is open to the public. So if you guys are in town, I used to live in Tampa actually about 2 years ago. So if I was there, I'd be trying to go to One Buck Place to watch these guys practice. But if you guys are going, let me know. And at Reed_Barkis, if you want to send some pictures when you guys go to training camp, I will post you up here on the show. All right, starting off with the quarterback position. Obviously, QB1, Baker Mayfield. And then we sign Jake Browning in free agency to be the QB2. I think that's pretty much locked up because you pay him money in free agency. Obviously, lose Teddy Bridgewater, so I think that's the 2 guys we're going to go with, right? Baker Mayfield, obviously going through the whole contract thing. We have him this year, so he is on the roster. But Jake Browning, you pay him that money. And then I think Jalon Daniels, the guy out of Kansas. Shout out to producer Parker right now. He is a Kansas alum. Guy's been balling out in practices, and he's showing out, and the coaches love him. Teammates love him. So I think he takes that practice squad spot away from Connor Bazelak. And unfortunately, Connor Bazelak, he's been a great practice squad QB. I think you say bye to Connor. Shout out to Jalon Daniels for really showing out as a UDFA. Now, going on to the running back position, we got Bucky Irving coming back from his offseason shoulder surgery. I mean, I don't know if anyone plays fantasy out there. Everyone's like, is Bucky Irving going to be okay? Guys, I think he might have his best season yet. So, Kenny Gainwell, obviously, you bring him in free agency. He's going to be an electric add to this running back depth chart and into Zach Robinson's new offense. Sean Tucker, got to have a red zone type of guy. And then Josh Williams is more of a special teamer guy, but he's always been pretty a lock. I'm pretty much a lock to make the roster each year. So I like Josh Williams to make it. So four running backs and nothing really changing, right? Because that is what I had the last time I did this video. But it's after minicamp, and Bucky Irving is on his way to being very, very healthy for training camp. So that is a very plus that I like to hear. Now moving on to the wide receiver room. Emeka Egbuka, he is set to have a fantastic season. Same thing as Bucky Irving. If you're a fantasy guy, draft Emeka Egbuka. I guarantee you. If I'm wrong, I'll pay $100. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But Jalen McMillan coming back from his neck injury that he suffered in preseason last year. He's going to be a great add to this room as well. Chris Godwin said that he is looking like the Chris Godwin. Baker Mayfield, I think, said he is looking like the Chris Godwin that we know. So I think that's what we're going to go with as the starting wide receivers, right? I mean, Jalen McMillan probably on the outside. And then Emeka Egbuka, that Z receivers, Chris Godwin in the slot. But that big X receiver, I think, could be Ted Hurst. You keep Tez Johnson as well. I love him in the motion game. And then Cameron Johnson, he's more of that returner specialist type of guy. You keep him on special teams and just rotating when guys get tired. And then you get David Sills in free agency. I think he ends up making the roster, the guy out of the Atlanta Falcons. He's actually a bigger wide receiver that can bring in that production that, Mike Evans, you're losing with him. So I think the Bucs keep 7 wide receivers. And at the same time, this is all up in the air. So it is June 19th right now. We just finished mandatory minicamp. A lot of things can change. So this is not the final 53-man roster. This is just the update after mandatory minicamp. So keep your eyes open for stuff that could happen, maybe some new free agent signings, because I know we'll get to the defense, but I think adding a veteran corner could be a good idea for us. But we'll get to the defense after I tell you guys about our fantastic sponsor of today's show, and that is SeatGeek. If you guys are looking to get out of the house and go watch a game, maybe a World Cup game, this is the place to do it. Try to save yourself some money on SeatGeek. Today's show is made possible by SeatGeek. You guys don't have any commercials or anything like that. You don't have to pay to watch this show. That is thanks to SeatGeek. Now, Use code CHAT10 to get 10% off your next set of tickets. MLB is in full swing, and yes, I know NBA and NHL, that is done. But if you're trying to go to a World Cup game, you can see on your screen right now, they are available. So if you're trying to make a trip out to SoFi Stadium and watch our guys play, make sure to use SeatGeek. They can save you some money. But if you're like, I don't want to do that, I'm more of a concert guy. Well, if you want to see a Noah Khan concert or something like that, SeatGeek has your back. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know you're getting a good deal. So look for the green dots. That means good. And obviously, red means bad. And of course, I have a code for you guys. You can use code CHAT10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. If you guys are trying to look to go to a preseason game for the Bucs or even just a regular season game, they have them on sale right now. So go ahead, get your tickets while they're still hot. I know it just released, but you can see they have a great feature where you can see exactly where you're going to be sitting, so you can see what the field looks like and everything like that. So SeatGeek, very, very, very great place to go to get 10% off any tickets with promo code CHAT10, your next set of tickets. So just click the link in the description to download the app and have their code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Thank you very much to SeatGeek. All right, moving on to the tight end room. Now, Cade Otton, he has not been practicing. I know it's not everything you want to hear after you extend a guy like that. And then Payne, Durham, Devin Culp, Keefe, and Fletcher as well. But I think we keep 4. Now, Bauer Sharp, we get him in the draft. And you don't always keep your draft picks, but I think Bauer Sharp has a interesting athletic ability to be the new Devin Culp, which obviously you do not see Devin Culp on here. He had a leg injury in OTAs, and I like Devin Culp as a player. He had 1 touchdown last year. I just don't think – I don't see him making this roster. Keefe, you bring him back and you extend him, and then Payne Durham, he's your blocking tight end. Cade Otton, obviously, you extend him as well. And then Bauer Sharp, you get in the draft, and you want to see what he can do because drafting Bauer Sharp tells me they're kind of done developing Devin Culp. And I know that's unfortunate, but I like Bauer Sharp's game a little bit better than Devin Culp's. All right, moving on to the offensive line. A lot of big boys here. Pause. Tristan Wirfs, he is going to have a fantastic season this year. I guarantee it. I think last year when he did not start the season, I think that really messed up the whole mojo of this group because if you look at this group right now with Ben Bredesen, Cody Barton, Cody Mock, and Luke Gedeke, that's a top 15, top 10 offensive line in the NFL right now if they stay healthy. You got Ben Chakuma in the background too. Oh my gosh. Schroth. I don't want to mess up his name, but the guard from Notre Dame, you get him in the draft. Elijah Klein. I mean, these are all guys like Dan Feeney as well. You bring back Justin School as well. So I think if we have to take 10 guys because we're keeping 2 more than last year. We kept 8 last year. I don't want the same thing to happen last year to happen this year because we got screwed with injuries. So I want to keep as much depth in this room as possible. Obviously, the left on there is your starting 5, but on the right, Elijah Klein is sort of a swing guard center type of guy. And then Billy Schrouth, offensive guard out of Notre Dame. He's a big guy, man. So he can really be that project offensive guard. And then Justin School, veteran offensive tackle. Ben Chakuma, he did a great job filling in last year. And then Dan Feeney as well. So I think they keep 2 more than last year. And I really could not see any of these guys not making the roster. This could change, but I think this might be the 10 guys on the offensive line because they want as much depth and not run into the injury bug like they did last year. Now, before we continue on with today's show, I want to give a huge flash sale, I guess, or a bang sale because the 4th of July is coming way closer than you think it is. It's creeping up. And we have some fantastic merch for you guys here at Chat Sports. Just go to chatsports.com/USA. Get your shirts today. I always find myself when I'm getting closer to 4th of July, I'm like, I don't know what to wear. I don't have a ton of, red, white, and blue stuff just laying around. So if you guys are looking for some stuff to get, tank tops, if you're trying to have the guns out and suns out, make sure to go to chatsports.com/USA. Get your gear for the 4th of July because you don't want to be sitting on the July 1st being like, uh-oh, I'm going to a cookout and I got nothing to wear. So I think these are pretty cool. I mean, just came here to bang. And it's 250 years of America's existence and celebrate their birthday on 4th of July and wear some cool merch as well. So moving on to the defensive line depth chart. Oh, man. Vita Vea, of course, having contract hold-ins during mandatory minicamp. He was participating in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers social media team, like their putting challenge or whatever on social media. So it's clear that he, wants to be involved, but I think it's more of just he's sitting out. He doesn't want to get hurt. He's a 31-year-old veteran. He's not going to be having to practice as much. But when training camp comes around, I'm sure he'll be there, and hopefully they get a deal done. But the 6 guys I'm keeping: Vita Vea, obviously, Elijah Roberts, A'Shawn Robinson, you bring in free agency, Kalijah Kancey, he's one of the younger guys on this defensive line, and then Elijah Simmons, he's your backup nose tackle, and then you bring back Nacho on the defensive line. So if you're going to bring 6 guys, I think these are the 6 guys you bring, and I wish I could bring more, but we need to save room for this next group right here, which is the linebackers. Now, you add a ton of different guys in the linebacker group. This was the hardest one to figure out who I'm going to keep because the top 4 right there, that is outside linebacker, Ruben Bain Jr., 15 overall pick. Parker, I don't think we're going to cut him, right? Yeah. Alex Anzalone, he's going to be your green dot guy, and then Josiah Trotter, you bring him in the draft as well. And Yaya Diaby is going to be that other side of Ruben Bain, and he's going to be the captain of this team. So who are you going to keep? I think you keep Ruben Bain, Yaya Diaby, Al-Qadim Muhammad, coming off 11 sacks from Detroit. Alex Anzalone is going to command the middle. Christian Roseboom, unfortunately, has not been at practice, but they've been excused. Josiah Trotter, you bring him in. Anthony Nelson, and then David Walker hits in at 41. I think Chris Braswell, as unfortunate as it is, I just don't see him making this roster. He did not have a fantastic year last year. I know injuries and stuff, but I don't see him making the roster, the second-round pick out of Alabama. I think David Walker is more on the upscale, and unfortunately, he's just the guy who gets cut with David Walker slotting in that last roster position for the linebackers. Now, to continue on with the depth chart, I mean, this is, I don't know, I'm having fun, guys, right? Yeah, it's a great time. But this is free. You guys don't have to pay a single dollar because of our great friends over at PrizePicks. Today's show is presented by PrizePicks. Now, we talk about PrizePicks a lot on this show, and they're the best. I mean, the playoffs for basketball were crazy. I won some money during it. It was amazing. It's the best way to watch sports because you can win some money while you are. Now, PrizePicks is a great way to win some money, but if you are not more of like a, World Cup guy or a baseball guy, you're like, Reed, I want to stick to football. That's what I know. They have season-long PrizePicks lineups that you can do for Baker Mayfield on his passing yards. The more on that, Emeka Egbuka, the more on his receiving yards. I think these 2 guys are going to have great seasons in Zach Robinson's offense. And then Bijan Robinson, the offense is going to run through him, but I don't think Kevin Stefanski knows exactly what he's doing with Bijan Robinson. It's like having a fantastic steak dinner and you just throw it in the trash because I just don't think Kevin Stefanski is going to use him the correct way. Now, PrizePicks has a great offer for new users. Download the PrizePicks app today with the link in the comments and description and use code HMA. You'll get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. One more time, that's code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. Thank you to PrizePicks. All right, the cornerback room. I said in the beginning of the show, I think we should add a veteran cornerback to this room because we get one injury, which honestly we've already had with Benjamin Morrison having that nicked up leg. I think we should add somebody in this room. But the guys that I'm taking, it's Ian McCollum, Benjamin Morrison, Jacob Parrish. I should have put Nickelback for Jacob Parrish there, but he's a corner anyways. It doesn't matter. And then Keontae Scott obviously going to be a nickel as well. And then Josh Hayes. Shout out to producer Parker for doing the nickel. Thank you very much. Is Nickelback, is that look at this photograph? Sorry, it's Friday. Let's have some fun. Keontae Scott, Nickelback. I think he could be in the safety room as well. But Josh Hayes is more of a special teamer guy. When you are doing special teams and you're like, I don't know where that guy is. That's sort of where he comes in. He's just one of those guys that's on the squad. Keontae Scott, I think he's going to get some good run, but he is a safety / nickel. And speaking of safeties, that's what we're going to go talking to next. Tyke Smith, he's your free safety. Antoine Winfield, he's getting up there in age. I hope he has a better year than he did last year. He didn't have a terrible year, but just a little bit better. And then Kilbrew, you bring in for special teams more. So I think the guys that we're going to take, we're only going to take 4 because Keontae Scott is sort of that middle of the road type of guy, being a safety and a nickel. So Miles Kilbrew, he was talking about Danny Smith and how much he means to him and why he came to Tampa Bay. He's not losing a roster spot. And then Rachaad Wisdom, obviously, more of a special teamer guy. So there's where your special teams guys come from in terms of, like gunners and stuff like that. So Rachaad Wisdom, he made the squad last year. I think he makes the squad again. And then we go to special teams. So Cameron Johnson, like I said before, he's going to be your punt returner. Kenneth Gainwell does a great job on special teams. I think he's going to be a special teams captain. So he will return kicks. He's done it with Pittsburgh, and I believe he did it with Philly as well. And Sean Tucker and obviously Cameron Johnson are going to be back there as well. Chase McLaughlin, Riley Dixon, Evan Deckers. Seems pretty. If I was going to switch this up, I don't even know what name I would put there. It would probably be a fake name because these are the 3 guys, and we know they're the 3 guys. We don't have to spend any more time on this graphic. Now, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Who did I leave off the roster? If you're yelling at your screen right now, like, Reed, you forgot blank, yell at me in the comment section down below, and I'll comment back to you, and we'll see if we can debate if that person should be on the roster or not. But you let me know down in the comments section and prove that I'm an idiot. All right, thank you so much for watching to the end of today's show. If you haven't, if it's a 18-minute long video, if you're watching right now, that means you like what's going on at Bucs Breakdown. That means you got to join the channel. If you haven't already, we're having some fun here during the offseason, trying to give you guys as much fun Bucs content as possible. We'll be here all offseason and during the season as well. You'll be able to see my pretty face every day. So hit that subscribe button, like the video while you're down there, and get some USA merch as well. All right, as always, fire the cannons.